This is Latin bringing you episode 17 for Metal Gear Solid 5 Phantom of Pain. We're going to be doing another mission here, trying to be sneaky and not just set off too many alerts and too many alarms here. So definitely we're going to be enjoying this series. I've been enjoying it a lot. So I hope you guys have been enjoying the videos as much as I've been enjoying playing and making these videos for you guys. So let's go ahead and definitely jump in for this mission that we're going to be working on today.
The new mother base started out as a test drilling rig operated by a mineral resources supplier, but their project fell through. The Seychelles government was happy to hand the place over to us. It was just scrap on stilts. So with a few dummy construction companies set up as fronts, we started renovating the half-finished rig. From the outside, it looked like the project was back on rails.
Cos, you...
What?
I see what you're doing. Recreating the mother base we had 9 years ago. Only this time.
That's right. The mother base Cypher thought they destroyed will return from the grave to kill them. We'll prove to the world that we were the victors.
And if we lose again?
They can't fool us the same way twice. Now our enemies are in plain sight. And when our organization gets too big, we split it across companies. Any company that draws attention gets liquidated, and its capital is back-channeled into a new company. Most PFs are small-time operations anyway. And in this business, the minnows go bankrupt all the time. We've never aroused suspicion. Plus, we have Hewick.
Hewick?
Human Exploitation Company. It's a business specializing in intel gathering. Think of it as a civilian intelligence agency.
Cos, that's...
Remember what they were trying to accomplish at the prison facility in Cuba? That gave me the idea. We dispatch moles into conflict zones around the world, and each sets up an intel network on site. Then they stay in place to give us stable points of contact when other nations intervene in the conflicts. Hewick's strength is that it has a cutout at each level. You get your job from one guy, then you hand it off to another. No one has direct access. It's a perfect black box. Hewick members also work their way into the superpowers intelligence agencies to make sure Diamond Dogs gets work. We have those countries by the balls. That's our deterrent when we need it.
Networking. In the intelligence community?
Sure, that's how we've grown this far. And when you go out on missions, intel from Hewick will be there to back you up. But despite all that, Cypher has its eyes on us. The only reason I'm not dead is that they needed to know where you were. Figured if you woke up, I'd go straight to you.
That's why you made that ruckus at the zero line.
Yeah, to make their own surveillance work against them. I think it took some of the heat off Cyprus.
Cos.
Then I just had to wait for you to save me. And I've gotten used to waiting.
Cos.
That's not all. It was a good chance to scout the market. And with the West wanting the Soviets out of Afghanistan, their agencies are bursting at the seams with funding. Boss, let's start by building up our Afghan presence.
Why put mother base in the Seychelles?
We're at the center of the world here.
We're all the way out in the Indian Ocean.
Come on. Lebanon, Sri Lanka, East Timor, and Africa. From here, our reach extends to conflict zones the world over, including Afghanistan, of course.
So it's prime real estate for a mercenary.
Exactly. Latin America isn't as close as I'd like, but we have Amanda and her people to help in that department. And besides, the Seychelles government owes us a favor.
Owes us?
Subject on board. Leave the rest to us. Which the West wanted to shake up. It came to a head 3 years ago in an attempted coup. It was a force of South African mercenaries, with U.S. backing being... You going to extract him? They were only platoon size. But South Africa is home to some heavy PFs. Too much for the Seychelles to handle. In the end, they accepted help from the Tanzanian army and quelled the coup. We set up the deal and handled on-site tactical instruction. That led to some training work for the Seychelles military. And when we put down a mutiny within their forces, well, we made a lot of people happy. They don't pay us. They just let us have a piece of their offshore territory on the promise we'll come running if something else happens.
So we're bodyguards, too.
It's a good setup. We can only take Mother Base so far here. We'll have to find somewhere else when this place starts getting big.
Aren't you being a little hasty?
Nothing hasty about it. You're back with us now.
So, Kaz, the ship that took us from Cyprus, it used to be a whaler.
Yeah, a Japanese vessel. How was the voyage?
It was... stimulating.
Well, she was part of a whaling fleet up until a few years ago. Her displacement isn't anything to write home about, but she can really move. But then the work dried up. Global opposition to whaling has been mounting for years.
Is that right?
The push to ban it has been gaining traction for a little over a decade. Individual species came under protection as the years went on. And then 2 years ago, the IWC adopted a moratorium on commercial whaling. Several countries, including Japan, fought it to the bitter end. But eventually, most whaling companies had no choice but to throw in the towel. You ever tried whale snake?
Can't say that I have.
When I was a kid in Japan, practically everybody ate it.
That good, huh?
The country was poor in those days, and whale was cheap. International opinions changed since then. In any case, that's why we were able to get a bargain price on the ship. Of course, we did end up spending 5 times the purchase price in modifications. We had to really work to fit in all the ESM and communications gear while keeping the whaler look intact. Right now, she's going around conducting SIGINT missions. In the future, we plan to use her as a communications relay base between you and Mother Base, and also as a chopper resupply vessel. Diamond dogs. The word diamond originally comes from the Greek adamas. It means indomitable, unyielding. Other words for the stones often mean eternal bond, fortitude, or purity. The same is true of the Star of Bethlehem flowers you laid on the boss's grave. They represent innocence, as well as chastity, yielding to no man while maintaining one's virtue. In other words, staying loyal to something.
Analysis complete.
So basically right here, I like to scout a lot because I'm trying to grow my mother base as strongly as possible. So one of the things that you're going to have to be doing is recruit as many soldiers as possible. So I like to capture most of the soldiers that I find on the battlefield. I don't like to kill them. I like to capture them and then try to weed out the bad ones from the good ones and keep the strong ones at mother base so that my base could be as strong as possible. So I'm going to hit a lot of posts, and you'll see a lot of videos where I hit the posts, a lot of postcards before I go to my main mission or side op mission. So in this case, we're going to go ahead. I capture one of the posts already, and this one I'm going to be capturing as well. That way I could get some of the soldiers. The side op mission that I'm going to be working on right now is extracting a prisoner. Is one of the first ones that you encounter on your side ops. So basically this is what we're going to be seeing, how I decide to go ahead and infiltrate this base so I could successfully do that.
He's coming too. Roger that.
Speak.
The map has been updated.
You gotta extract him.
So as you can see here, the main missions is a little bit further up front, but I went ahead and extracted these guys. That way when I'm gonna leave on my chopper, I won't run into any problems because I know this part has already been secured. one thing that I'm not doing in this video, but eventually you'll see it in previous, the next few videos. I have a lot of videos that I need to edit and get out to you guys, so I do apologize about that. I'll do that as soon as possible. But basically, one thing that you definitely want to do, it doesn't matter how you stun or put to sleep your target, you always want to manage to find time to question them, because they're going to be telling you a lot of important things, a lot of important details, so that you can successfully execute your mission. So definitely you always want to go ahead and ask questions, question them and interrogate them. That way you get as much as you can of each mission.
He's coming too. Roger that.
Like I've mentioned before, sandstorms are going to be your best friend, so definitely take advantage every time that there's a sandstorm and move in.
So your suppressor is worn out. That gun will be as loud as any other now. If you have to shoot, be careful.
Outpost captured.
Do not do that, because you'll just end up losing them.
Extraction failed. Extraction failed.
I'm sorry, boss, but the extraction failed. The support unit just isn't skilled enough. If you want to increase the success rate of Fulton extractions in bad weather, you need to improve the support unit. Ugh, looks like that fall killed him. Disrupt communications between enemy outposts by destroying comms equipment. That'll prevent one post from sending reinforcements to another.
Just for giggles, I decided to destroy their support stuff, so you'll be seeing that. I'm going to be destroying their communication, their satellites, their radars, and so on and so forth.
If you destroy it, you might be able to cut off the CP from their HQ.
Почему?
vehicles will slow the enemy down, but you could also steal them for yourself.
Most of the time there's going to be 4 of these per station. There's going to be at least one big satellite that you can see right there, or radar. So those are the things that you want to look for when you're destroying it.
You destroyed their anti-air radar? It wasn't one of the targets, but that's put a hole in their air surveillance. The chopper will be able to get in close now. You can designate a landing zone near the outpost. Gun emplacements and mortars can turn a firefight into a nightmare. Taking the time to destroy them now should make missions less work for you later on.
Later on I'll be able to bolt in those big canisters, but as of right now I can't. You'll also be able to bolt in vehicles, tanks. So some nifty stuff that you're going to be able to be using, but sadly it's going to be later on into the game.
Marker removed. Please select a landing zone. Support helicopter requested.
So I could have chosen between 2 points to go either way, but I decided to go this way because I know this way is clear from soldiers, and apparently I did the right decision. You'll see why.
Side ops list updated.
Okay.
Extraction arrived at Mother Base.
Arriving shortly at LZ. This is Pequot. Have arrived at LZ. Will stand by.
Extraction arrived at Mother Base. Support helicopter has arrived. Departing area of operations.
Departing. Good. You captured it alive.